What's up, you guys? I wanted to get on here and share some financial advice for you. Now, keep in mind when I share this financial advice, it's up to you to make your own decisions. You guys know on this channel that I'm more than willing to share the information I have when it comes to finances, creating wealth, understanding money, and ultimately helping you get ahead. But understand that there's a risk behind everything. So any information that I share on this video or previous or future videos, that's not me telling you what to do. That's me basically saying, here's the facts of everything and do with this information what you will. So I wanted to touch on a concept of how to get ahead financially and do it before anybody else expects this greatness to happen, this greatness being like, hey, you making a lot of money. So one of the biggest things that the wealthy people have the ability to do is see the future for what they expect to happen. So here's exactly what I mean by that. So you look at an idea and you go, well, that's a really good idea. It might not pan out right now, but I'm confident that in 5, 10, 15 years down the road, this is a great idea and it will pan out. And so what you're doing is you're investing in the future. You know in your heart of hearts, hey, this isn't going to make me money right now, but I can see the vision for this thing and I can see how this is going to be big, and I'm going to invest in it right now so that I can reap the rewards of it again 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. So I want to share a couple of examples with you that would have gained you a significant amount of money if you could have seen the depth of vision, and actually there's still opportunities for depth of vision right now. First one, this one goes back to when we saw a market correction back in 2020 when the pandemic hit really hard. We saw the stock market absolutely tank. The Dow was down, the S&P 500 was down. Travel had stopped altogether. I mean, you couldn't go to other countries. Cruise lines were shut down. Well, if you had looked at the stock prices at that time, you had companies like Boeing, who's the biggest manufacturer of airplanes on the planet. Their stock was down about 30 or 40%. You had Carnival Cruise Line. You had even oil companies, because oil, nobody needed to travel anymore. So oil companies were down. So these stocks, they took a massive hit because of the pandemic. And people that thought ahead, what they thought is, okay, well, this is only temporary. What we're going through, not being able to travel, is only temporary. And once it goes back to the levels it was before, we should see this stock price be back at where it was and probably even bigger than that. So that was one example of an opportunity where if you had depth of vision, you could have made a lot of money in the actual market itself. Next one is going to be cryptocurrency. Now, Bitcoin, obviously, we have a lot of Bitcoin millionaires out there right now. These people, they understood that the future of banking and the future of transactions wasn't in the form of tangible, and it wasn't in the form of fiat currency, something that can be inflated. So these people invested in Bitcoin back like 10 years ago. I think it came out in 2011, something like that. So they invested in it 10 years ago, and they had depth of vision to say, I know where this thing is going. So they invested in it then, and now look at the rewards that they're reaping now. They're absolute millionaires. Now, the last one, and again, this is not any sort of financial advice. This is just simply to give you ideas. Look at what's happening in the mainstream media right now. We're seeing that cryptocurrency is being normalized. We're seeing, look at the UFC, for instance. It's sponsored by Crypto.com. You're seeing commercials for Coinbase. If you're watching the MLB playoffs, they have the this one specific game I was watching, Behind Home Plate, they were talking about crypto on the advertising itself. So this is, you want to look at that for what it is. Like, that's showing you, hey, we're trying to usher this in and make this normal. So the people that have depth of vision, if they invest in the right cryptos, and again, do your research, you could be one of those crypto millionaires potentially, depending on, again, the research you do and the amount of money that you put in. So depth of vision is massive when it comes to creating the type of wealth that you want. So don't look at things for how they are. Look at them for how they could be, and invest in that. Here's what they could be and watch what happens. So I hope that helps you guys, and have a great rest of your day.